Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Hello there everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I thought it would be fun to share with you some of the magical decorations that I have in my home. Sometimes I forget how much my home has become magical through the years. There are a lot of things that I have up that have been up for ages, and every now and again I will add something new. Of course, some of these are refreshed seasonally or yearly, or some of them have stayed with me for a very long time. But these quiet little simple bits of magic that are very easily missed as just decorations in my home, I feel bring a lot of power to the magic of my home. They each stand for a different reason, to bring certain energies to either the room, the home in general, or specific workings in that space. And hopefully this is something that you will find interesting and maybe implement in your own home. So I hope you enjoy. But before we get too far into this video is sponsored, so let's hear a little bit more about that first. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is a website building and hosting company, and as I'm currently working on putting up a website, it is very exciting to get to partner with them. With Fluid Engine, a next-generation website design system from Squarespace, it's never been easier for anyone to unlock creative design. You get to start with a best-in-class website template and customize every detail with reimagined drag-and-drop technology for desktop or mobile. You can stretch your imagination when it comes to online design with Fluid Engine, built in and ready to go on any new Squarespace site. One thing I really love about Squarespace is their flexible website template. You get to get started with one of their professional website templates with designs for every category and use case. Then customize your look, update the content, and add features to fit your unique needs. You can make any Squarespace template do what you want, so your idea, brand, or business stands out online on every device and can be as unique to you as you dream. Another thing that I really love about Squarespace is the ease of working an online store. Whether you sell physical, digital, or service products, Squarespace has the tools you need to start selling online. So if this sounds interesting to you, go to squarespace.com/thegreenwitch to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring, and let's get back to the video. Alrighty, welcome back. Let's dive into the magical decorations that I have in my home. This is by no means an exhaustive list, and maybe I can do a couple parts of this through the year if you're interested. I also shift my decorations seasonally if that's something that you would be interested in as well. But first, I want to talk about a little bit of a newer addition to my home, and that is these 3 ferns that I have framed in my workspace. They're against the back of my dining room wall, but that is where I do all of my magical workings. Ferns are a powerful fortifying herb and one that I feel particularly drawn to. I live in an area with a lot of ferns. They thrive here, and I feel like they really thrive in the magic that I work here. I'm always drawing ferns and adding them to bits of my life. They're in necklaces, the back of my phone case, anywhere that I can put them. And so when I stumbled across these 3 beautiful old wooden frames when I was at a Goodwill, I decided that they would be perfect for 3 ferns. They really look just like a piece of art, but there's power in 3s, and they bring a lot of fortifying magic to that room. So ultimately they enhance any working that I perform in that space, and so they are a very powerful and valuable part of my magic in my home. But you may not realize that when you look at them. The next one I want to share are 3 copper bowls. Now, these I typically have hanging in my kitchen because I like to have copper in the kitchen to bring loving energies to the food that I create. But I already have a couple of colanders that are copper hanging in there, and I didn't have any copper hanging in my dining room, which is my workspace and where I also create food, and so I have them there for that purpose as well. Each of the metals can be worked with in a different way. I have an affinity for copper. It is a very loving metal, and I really do believe that it adds a lot of power to spells worked around it or with using it as a vessel. So I do like to keep it, especially around kitchen witchery or cooking magic because it does add that bit of love. And personally, I think all food made with love tastes so much better. So that is a big part. And they also look like a beautiful decoration. Each of these bowls I found at thrift stores, and I just enjoy getting to give them a new life and repurpose them. They do come off of the wall pretty frequently, so they aren't always a decoration. Sometimes I do use them in my cooking, mainly my baking, but I do love them as a decoration and they add a lot of magic to my space. This next one is a bit of herbal magic and it kind of has two parts to it. I am personally very fond of thistles. They grew all around where I grew up and they just were such a beautiful part of actually this time of year to me. And so I have a large collection of ones that I've harvested from where I grew up, and I like to keep them in my home in a couple different uses. The main two that I'll talk about today. One is in a jar by the entryways to protect against thieves. This is an interesting bit of folklore that it has, and I just think it's a good thing to do. Besides, they look beautiful in a jar. And I also always keep a bowl of thistles in a prominent part of my home to bring strength and energy to that space. As the folklore goes, keeping a bowl of thistles in the center of a room is said to strengthen the spirits of those within it. And so it's something I enjoy to keep in my home as well. There are so many uses of thistles though, and I do include them in quite a bit of magic, and I have strung them up on garlands in my home, added them to wreaths and herb bundles. I mean, really, truly, I've used them in many, many different ways and adore them. Hello! Do you like thistles? Glad to see you. Glad to have you join. You're such a goof. You're such a goof and I love you. Hazel is joining us for the next portions. So the next one that I want to talk about is keeping a broom above main thresholds. This is kind of similar to the thistles by the door, but instead of being specifically for thieves, brooms above the doorways are just very protective. It's meant to bar any negative energy or baneful spirits from entering. I kind of view it as kind of sweeping the energy as you walk through the threshold, so nothing that may have been latched onto you comes into your home. And it creates this really powerful barrier of protection in the front of your home or whatever doorways you are putting it over. You can also put them over doorways within your home if you wish to create more sacred spaces in your home. But personally, my whole home, luckily for myself, is a sacred space, and so I am able to just keep it above that doorway specifically. This is a simple practice. I have currently just a cinnamon broom there. I do have my broom next to the door, but you can work with any broom, any style, your own creation or one that you purchase. But it's a very beautiful, simple practice that I very much recommend. And finally, I want to talk about perhaps my favorite practice, which is to keep a bulb of garlic in the kitchen on the windowsill. This is one of the first bits of magic that... Oh my goodness. You're so cute. This is a bit of magic that I work immediately in every new space. I keep it up to date and I absolutely adore. I find it to be very potent and very valuable. Keeping garlic on the kitchen windowsill is said to draw negativity away from your food, and I think this is very true. Just as the copper pots and copper metal in general in the kitchen adds love, this protects. Keeping it in the window protects everything from coming in. You may also want to keep it in other places, up to you. Some people keep an onion under the sink for the same purpose, but personally I feel like garlic works a little better, at least for me. Besides, it looks very beautiful to me in that little corner on the windowsill. I enjoy it as a decoration, and it doesn't look out of place given that it's a kitchen, right? Oh, you need more space? Okay. Oh, you're leaving? Okay. You can replace the garlic clove maybe every 3 months, 6 months, yearly, up to you and how much time you spend cooking in the kitchen. just keep an eye on it. And with that, those are 5 of my hang on. You're so cute. Okay, it's looking like I need to go play with Hazel. She needs some attention. So with that, those are 5 of the magical decorations that I keep in my home. I have so many more. I could delve into houseplants specifically, or I mean, just keep going with random decorations. So if you're interested, let me know and I will gladly share them with you. I hope you've enjoyed. I had a lot of fun going through my home and kind of trying to think about what I have around, and it just reminded me of a couple things that I just see every day and don't think about. So that was also fun for me. Let me know what you keep around in your home as a magical decoration. I love to hear from you guys. And yeah, let's close out this video. If you can and would like to, I have a Patreon. There I share art, herbal profiles, book recommendations, and monthly workshops. It's a ton of fun and really what keeps everything rolling over here. So if you want to help support this channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could check out my Patreon. I also have another channel where I share more videos of day-to-day life stuff, magic, herbalism, all of those good things. And I also have a book. It is all about herbal magic and spellcraft and should take the beginner to the intermediate. So if any of those are interesting to you, they are all linked down below in my description. I hope you're having a lovely day and I cannot wait to see you soon.